You want this, don't you? Oh, wrong franchise. It belongs in a museum. Yeah, that felt better. Or I could put it in my office, whichever. A new lo-fi dropped on the Lucasfilm social channels this week. That's right, another one! This time, follow Indy on his adventures around the world, with stops at every major destination glimpsed in the previous 4 Indiana Jones films and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's a rollicking, globe-trotting adventure that takes us from the Well of Souls to Pankot Palace. We've had the good fortune to hear a lot from Harrison Ford in the last few weeks. And guess what? We're not done talking to Indiana Jones actors. Over on Lucasfilm.com, Sean Patrick Flannery, who portrayed the young Indiana Jones in, yes, The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones, recently sat down to look back at his time in the hat. And Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is now out in theaters worldwide. To celebrate, the cast of the newest film is once again here to dig into the production and share some behind-the-scenes secrets. Is this film a love letter to Indiana Jones?
It is, in the sense that it's made with love for the character. Part of love means trying to do something new and not just making a movie for its own sake, to try and push the character and understand the character at this stage of his life, but also to deliver those same thrills that we know, and the comedy and the adventure, only this time with an older guy being sent through the tunnel.
Is your dynamic in real life anything like Helena and Indy's?
No, that's acting.
Fair, yes.
I mean, I am always trying to steal things from you.
The relationship between Phoebe and I think is not as fraught as the relationship between Indy and Elena. I think that I was well cast in this part to play opposite Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
It was a long list.
You know, you do make a great Indiana Jones.
Actually, the advice you gave me to when I have to take a punch, imagine that I'm drunk, was really useful. I'm going to take that through my life and in my work.
Oh, good.
What can you tell us about Teddy?
Teddy is a street kid from Morocco. He's like kind of a thief. He's trying to be an adult and he's trying to find his place between Helena and Indiana Jones. I'm really happy and it feels really weird to be in Indiana Jones for my first movie. Harrison told me something that was pretty fun. He told me that acting was actually like being a child. I think that's a good way to understand the work of being an actor.
It's like being a kid, but you get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic.
And I'm also a kid.
Yeah, and you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Boyd, you and James Mangold made some very deliberate choices as you were crafting this character. I'm told there were false teeth and a haircut that's very particular.
I was really excited and trying to figure out how to portray a character like that. It was hard for me to wrap my head around. And it started out maybe like a John Cazale look. It actually inspired from the Green Butchers, a very high hairline that I wanted to do. I just wanted him to have something that put him out, and we made these teeth that actually aren't that present in the film, but for me, it was kind of a good crutch to lean on.
Shawnette, I also love Agent Mason's 1960s style. As I understand it, you based it around Foxy Brown. Can you talk about why that was such a big inspiration for you in this role?
Thinking about the Black Exploitation era and looking at Black women as these action figures and heroes, it is such a delight to try to give homage to that and to recreate a little bit of that energy and vibe and ownership of your badassery. So I think that was like pretty much the focus for that. Yeah, it was fun.
It's been a wonderful journey to see this home, the home stretch for Indiana Jones and Harrison in this film. Very touching story, and watching him up this close work has just been, an experience of my life.
Today we're here with our friend from the Lucasfilm Archives, and we're getting our hands on the Dial of Destiny.
Also known as the Archimedes Dial.
Let's dive in.
Yeah, well, Kristen, I'm so excited to be here because I love Star Wars, but I absolutely love Indiana Jones.
Big same.
One of my favorite things about the franchise overall is the fact that with every film, regardless if it's the Shankara Stones or the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, you've always got an artifact that's somehow loosely based on history.
That belongs in a museum!
With the Dial of Destiny, this actually does relate to history. So for those that aren't aware, the Antikythera mechanism is an actual piece of history that was found about 100 years ago. The only thing that most archaeologists are able to tell from the original is that it was most likely a computing mechanism that allowed people to track the stars or also potentially track the planets. This particular prop, which was created by the prop master Ben Wilkinson and his genius team of prop makers, includes not only a replica dial make, but it has fragments for each dial cast in each specific space.
Wow, that is some amazing attention to detail.
On the first faceplate, we've got the acrophonic attic numerals. On the larger sloped ring around here, we've got all the front numerals, which are in ancient Greek. Moving over to the larger piece, this inner ring here contains the Corinthian calendar. This entire sloped ring here happens to have all the instructions on how the dial operates. The actual inner ring is the lunar ring, which contains the days of the month. And then lastly, the faceplates along each side contain the sundial. And other than that, I don't think there's anything left to do but put it together.
Can we put it together?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you and I are gonna combine both pieces. Go for it.
Ooh, it's a
There's
satisfying pop.
If you want to take the compass and you can pull the pin out, yep,
Oh, I was not expecting that.
and you drop it right in there. And that is the full Archimedes dial of destiny.
If you could go back in time, where would you go?
Probably to before this shoot started.
Before you said yes to doing this piece. That's it for this week. For more on Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, out now, check out lucasfilm.com. And as much as we love This Week in Indiana Jones, no time for love, Dr. Jones. So be sure to join us right here when This Week in Star Wars returns next Thursday. Thanks for watching.